Billions of dollars have been poured into making the Overwatch League the upcoming esports juggernaut that it is primed to be today. Under the glossy polish of sleek production and shining lights, conglomerates and esports organizations from all around the world pit their global stars against each other in the Blizzard arena. In-game victory is perhaps the smallest part of the puzzle. A considerable amount of both time and finances are spent constructing rigorous marketing and social media campaigns, attempting to reach out to Overwatch fans and win their allegiance, from hiring meme specialists for prime Twitter burn delivery to flying teams out to their home cities for meet and greets. No effort is too big nor too small to boost their brand, build their image, and garner support. And yet, the most endearing and supportable team in all of Overwatch does not spend a single dime on their marketing. They don't even play in the league. RunAway is an amateur team that plays in a tumultuous Tier 2 scene on the other side of the world, dropping maps they should be taking with ease and celebrating every map win with hugs from their perfectly groomed team mom. To the uninitiated, their international adoration seems rather puzzling. RunAway are not champions. They are the perennial bridesmaids of Overwatch tournaments, often frustratingly inconsistent. They don't attempt to appeal to any foreign fans by speaking English, and they are one of many Tier 2 teams in Korea struggling for a title. So why do international fans seem to have such a soft spot for them? Because RunAway is the most marketable, best dressed team, greatest in the world. Who is more loved than RunAway? No one. It's basic human nature to root for the underdog, and the Overwatch scene has never seen one quite like RunAway. After a dismal performance in their first Apex season, no one could have predicted the charge they mounted in Season 2. They miraculously made their way through groups, but weren't expected to make much headway in the subsequent matchups. Yet somehow RunAway found victory after victory, none of which were brutal crushes or sweeps. It was very quickly established that watching RunAway is not for those with a weak disposition. Every single Season 2 match seemed to be a panic-inducing nail-biter, with amateur slip-ups thankfully outweighed by clutch plays so masterful they actually made your heart leap. These plucky, pink-sweatered kids went from the bottom of the pack to a place in the grand finals, and whilst they ultimately lost that season title to Lunatic High, they did win an international fan base that never stopped growing. From there, new fans eagerly awaited their Season 3 run, but were met with disappointment. Despite their rise, RunAway still had no sponsors or org backing them. With no money for a team house or coaching staff, they struggled to rebuild and continue the momentum they had gained. Their star player Kaiser left for financial reasons. They crashed out of the round of 16, but they were down, not out. Off-season saw them finally move into a team house, complete with a fan-donated washing machine, allowing them to train and play together as often as their competitors. They landed a sponsorship from Logitech. Both Runner and his wife Floravin dedicated themselves to managing the team, covering the staff roles they could not stretch to before. RunAway was ready to take on Season 4 on equal footing as their competitors. They were much improved and clawed their way back to the Season 4 finals, but it wasn't meant to be, nor at APAC later that year. The fallout from the APAC loss was perhaps their darkest hour. Worry grew as whispers of imminent disbandment began to spread. Coming achingly close to first place twice in a matter of weeks was a much heavier loss than their first grab for glory. Western orgs were reportedly interested in picking up individuals for the league, and Runner was due for enlistment. But RunAway is no stranger to overcoming obstacles. Floravin took up the reins while her husband served in the military. The players chose staying together over the league and began preparations for the first season of Contenders. Again, they may have been down, but they certainly were not out, and as long as RunAway are willing to pick themselves up after they fall, their fanbase will continue to grow. But RunAway are by no means the sole underdogs to take on the competitive scene. GC Busan rode the royal road from road to Apex to a league spot, and yet they never experienced the kind of support that RunAway has. The current relationship between Overwatch orgs and their fans can be summed up by one oft misused and misunderstood buzzword: transparency. CEOs hold Reddit AMAs to explain decisions. Warts and alls behind-the-scenes videos are uploaded weekly. If a player is sick, there is a quick scramble to update Twitter to let fans know. And it's all to lessen the gap between fans and their favourites. But this is a young era. Before it began with that fateful trip to In-N-Out, Overwatch teams kept their business to themselves. The Korean Apex scene that preceded it was equally as tight-lipped. In Season 3, Lunatic High benched star DPS Who Are You for ego issues, a statement the head coach was forced to eventually make after rumours ran from Who Are You sassing out the staff, falling gravely ill, and even having fangirl issues. For international fans, it proved even harder to rely on Google Translate to chew up the rare official statement or fan cafe speculation that we managed to get our hands on. But RunAway has consistently gone out of its way to remain accessible to its audience. It was a team reborn on Runner's stream as he openly discussed why he scouted certain players to rebuild the roster for Season 2. He would later talk of the frustrating ramifications of a poor season on RunAway's league potential or ability to find new sponsors. He shed tears when discussing the shortcomings that led them to losing an extremely close final. He spoke frankly of the difficulties in balancing his job as a streamer, spending time with his family, and giving RunAway what he believed they deserved. He even took the time to reach out to international fans by writing a Reddit post in English, acknowledging and thanking them all for their support so far. RunAway provided fans with transparency before we even thought to ask for it. With Runner being so open, it was easier for foreign fans to get to know RunAway compared to their competitors. Other teams introduced their players with sleek dubstep highlight reels and flashy plays, whilst main tank Kaiser took to Reddit to describe his teammates as brats and one as just an idiot. RunAway managed to become distinctive characters in an endless sea of technically proficient Koreans. Haksal, the young Genju prodigy, Stitch, the unpredictable tracer with his face straight out of a manhwa, Kaiser, the clutch Reinhardt whose financial struggles we were oddly intimate with. And this rabble was led by the husband and wife team of Runner and Flowervin, arguably the best-known founders and managers in the Overwatch scene. Players have come and unfortunately gone, but the essence of what makes RunAway has remained. Together, they form an almost Cartoon Network-esque ragtag mob that is undeniably endearing. They fought and stuck it out through difficulties their competitors did not have to face. RunAway is an amateur team bound purely by their desire to succeed together, going toe-to-toe against teams backed by orgs with money to spend. Another aspect that initially helped them stand out amongst the others was purely visual, and perhaps an unintentional boon from the financial limitations that come from being amateurs. In a sea of soccer meets a sports drink colour palette Overwatch uniforms, RunAway's baby pink sweaters did not have to work particularly hard to catch your eye. RunAway has become synonymous with the colour, and the sweaters have achieved borderline cult icon status within the Overwatch community. For a time long before esports was primed to be the next global superpower that companies would wield to make inordinate sums of money, RunAway's branding and marketing was exceptionally and unconsciously on point. They had an easily identifiable logo and a distinctive colour scheme, both aspects that teams didn't seem to take particularly seriously until Blizzard forced their hand for the league. Despite Lunatic Kai and Kongdu being the most decorated teams of the Apex era, they did not have threads regularly springing up on Reddit asking where to acquire their merc. RunAway became a bona fide brand in the Overwatch scene, and all it took was a silhouette silkscreen and some pink blanks. Despite being an amateur team with no titles under their belt, RunAway is heralded as one of the legendary names of Overwatch, alongside decorated teams like Lunatic Kai and Envious. Even now, with the Tier 2 scene unfortunately wilting in the shadow of the league, fans still keep an eye out for their games and updates. Why? Because they bought into Runner's dream, and the player's dream, and just want to see them do well. It is support in its purest sense. Current franchises are spending millions to get what RunAway managed to achieve with candidness, graft, and perseverance. But they can never quite achieve the support RunAway has, because they can never replicate the journey that RunAway has taken to get to this point. They can never be a scrappy, ragtag team of underdogs, responsible for countless iconic moments in competitive Overwatch. Contender Season 2 is well underway, and whilst they didn't quite reach their Season 1 expectations of finale finish, fans are not deterred. Past experience keeps a RunAway fan hopeful. Even numbered seasons are kind of our thing anyway. For RunAway, every stumble has been followed by a rise. Perhaps Season 2 will finally see them clinch the title that they have come so close to winning. Perhaps it will trigger their ascension to the league and finally deliver what so many international fans have wanted for them. The perfect Cinderella story ending they so deserve. And now it's over to you guys. Why do you think RunAway is so well loved by the international fan base? Do you think Season 2 is finally going to be their title to get number 1? Let us know in the comments below, and if there are any other teams you'd like us to cover, let us know too. Bye!